Hi, this is Rich with Richbound Photography, Sacramento, California. And I want to welcome you to another tutorial. And this tutorial is a subject I've done several times, but it's always been my most successful or most watched video or my topics. And I still get people that are having a disconnect, don't quite understand this technique. And that's understandable because it is a little bit technical and you have to really wrap your head around the concept. So window pulls in darken mode. Okay, well, let's break that down. Let's talk about what is a window pull. A window pull is where you have a separate exposure for a view. You want to get the beautiful view of a mountain or your yard or trees, and you want to convey to the person that's looking at the MLS images how great this view is. And what you got to do is get this view in perfect exposure if you want it, or a little brighter, whatever. You control that. But this is a technique that in the past, if you were going to do a traditional window pull, you would select the window frame and you would mask in the view, which is a separate exposure. But that could be really difficult when you're dealing with shutters, where the shutters have all these open spaces that you would have to select each space, which is really, really time consuming and difficult for those of you that have done it before. Or if you have like a chair or a plant in front of the window view, you're going to have to select around the leaves of the plant, things like that. So this tutorial is just going to show you how darken mode is going to work. And when you put your masking into darken mode, anything that is brighter than the exposure you're using below is going to not show up because it's only going to mask in what's darker, hence calling it darken mode. So sit back, check out this video. Again, this is for really the basic photographer, the person that's getting into this, or someone that just has not grasped the concept of window pulls in darken mode. So I want to say though, before we go into the editing portion of this, I'd like to say, please welcome to my channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe because it really means a lot to me and helps me make these free videos. You can also use my Autorama link, which is in the show notes. If you're going to purchase some new equipment, you might as well shop with the Autorama link. Every little bit is so nice to help me motivate me to make these free videos. We have our YouTube channel, and then we've also got podcasts, which are called Shooting Spaces, a Real Estate Photography Podcast. And I do that with a fellow photographer, Brian Berkowitz in New York City. He's actually in Long Island, and we do these great podcasts, and we interview people. And so I'm not going to get into it, but check out Shooting Spaces podcast.com and a whole lot of other things. I do coaching and I also do workshops, so that's going to be on the show notes. So check it out, subscribe, and I'll see you in Lightroom. Okay, now we're in Lightroom, and I just want to go through this image with you because I want you to understand the concept. This is really a tutorial for the newer photographers or the people that are having really hard time understanding what window pull in darken mode is. Now, we know a window pull is just putting in a view of a window. In the old days, we would mask in, so you'd have to select exactly where you want that window to go, where you want that view to go. But now in darken mode, the concept is you point a flash at the window, and it overexposes. The goal is to overexpose everything surrounding the view. And the view you have to make darker. So you do that by raising your shutter speed and shooting at a higher speed to lower your exposure. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. And I want to say a lot of people, I'm always surprised, but they're asking, well, do I really need to use a flash? And can I do it in Lightroom? I don't want to bring my photos into Photoshop. Well, no, you can't. You have to have flash because you have to overexpose the window that you don't want to mask in. But you can do it. You can do it with a flash, but you can't do it with an ambient image. It just doesn't quite work. So I recommend learning to use flash, at least even if you do HDR, you can use a flash layer to get your window pull because it's hard to get in HDR sometimes. So let's just go over what I'm doing this whole image. What are the parts to the image? So let's go here, and I've got an ambient shot. I've got my flash layer. I've got my window pull layer, and a little special thing, and I don't know if I'll need it, but I usually take an image of the view darker than the window pull view. Like this window pull view is at 1/200th of a second, and this one is at 1/320th of a second. All I'm using it for is in case I need a little spot, in case I needed to hide a flash reflection. But remember, flash reflections usually don't show up if the flash layer below it is close, because remember, the flash reflection is brighter, and in darken mode it doesn't show up if it's brighter. So we're pointing the flash at the window. I am just I think I'm camera right here. I'm pointing it this way, and I want to overexpose everything in front of the window, which is the window frame, the shades here, and that's about it here. And I could select everything that I just want to put the window view in, but it's so much easier in darken mode, and I'll show you how. Now, if you had a reflection here on this shot, you could also then take another shot pointing your flash from here, and your flash might move over to here, and you could mask out one or the other. But you'll see, I don't think we're going to have a problem with that. But I've got this darkened shot right here with no flash, just in case. You never know. It doesn't hurt to take it as an extra bracket because it's so fast and easy. No reason not to do it. So let's take the ambient shot. I'm going to do my ambient yellow out, and it's a preset. You can find it on... that is in the website, Shooting Spaces website at shootingspaces.net. You can find all the presets. And let's just bring down the exposure just a little bit. And that looks about right for what I want it for. The flash shot looks good, but I'm going to add a full bump here for my A6000. This is an A6000. And the ambient shot is at 1/15th of a second. The flash shot is at 1/25th of a second. I'm going to actually bring it a little darker. There we go. Okay, that looks good. And then I've got my flash layer for the window pull, and I'm going to hit my A6000 full bump there. And I'm going to bring down the exposure for the window view. There we go. Perfect. And again, this is brighter here, so it's not going to show up in darken mode. And just hang with me, I'll show you in a minute. But we can see here we've got flash shot, which I'm basing everything off of. I need a little exposure here. I need to fix this ceiling fan shadow. I've got some shine from the flash here. The bed looks like it's flashy from camera, so I want to bring in the ambient parts here, okay? The only thing I'm going to do is take out a little more of the yellow and orange. There we go. Okay. So let's bring all these layers in. Let's highlight everything here. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, and now let's go into Photo, Edit in, Open as Layers in Photoshop. Now, when you're pointing your flash at the window, don't use more flash than you need. Just expose just enough to overexpose everything around the window, because if you use too much power, it really can hurt you with reflections, and it just will work against you. And people think that you need all this extra power. Well, not really. I could do this shot easily with a little speed light on half power. So you really don't need super lot of powers. But it also depends how close you are or how far away you are from the window. You could also stand right here and point a flash here. As long as you're not in the window view, you're not in the shot. You could be standing right here or right here, no problem. Okay, so let's highlight everything, and I'm going to go up into Edit, Auto Align Layers. There you go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and it's going to auto align everything. We want to do that because when we're masking, we don't want to have misalignments. And a good thing to start doing is let's start naming our layers. So this is the ambient shot. I know. I'm just going to go AMB. When you're starting off at doing this, you're going to have a lot of layers, and it's going to be good to name them so you don't get confused what is what. This is going to be my flash layer. And I can turn off my ambient layer just to make sure it's the flash layer. That's my flash layer. And then I turn off the flash layer, and I know that this is the window pull. Okay, and I know that this is my no light. It doesn't really matter what you call it, just as long as it makes sense to you. So I'm going to pull my no light shot up to the very top. That'll be the last thing I do. My window shot will be next. I'm going to turn off these two layers and turn on my ambient layer and my flash layer. And I'm going to hold down, click on the ambient layer, hold Option on a Mac, Alt on a PC, and here we go. Make a new layer mask. Okay, so let's just deal with this shot, and this is just kind of not even the window pull shot. It's just showing you. I'm going to use a little ambient to, there we go, ambient there. I'm going to get rid of the ceiling fan shadow. Adds a little shadows there. There we go. A little ambient there. There you go. A little ambient on here. And you know what? I'm getting a little color cast here. So I don't usually do a luminosity mask here, but I'm going to try it now. Instead of being in normal mode, I'm just going to bring it down to luminosity. Okay, let's look at the bed now. Oh, it actually turned out pretty good. A little bit blue, but I like the colors better. So let's go back to normal and let's compare. Look at the wall back here. Yeah, they're both kind of about the same, but I'm just going to bring luminosity back here. And I'm going to now hit X. I'm going to turn this into black. And I'm just going to erase a little bit of from this wall. I'm getting a little bit of brown. I don't like it. It's a little, I got to go back and forth. Now I'm going to paint it in a little bit. Oops, I'm at 20% flow. That's the problem. I want to go 9% flow. Okay, you always check your flow, okay? So let's go here. Now I'm gonna go backwards, bring it all the way back, and I'm just gonna mask in a little bit of ambient. Here I go, I'm bringing it to white. So just back up a few steps, there we go. I was having it at too high a flow, which screwed me up, okay? There we go. Okay, the ambient shot is done helping the flash shot. Now let's go up to our window pull shot. I'm highlighting the window pull layer. I'm making a new layer mask. Holding down Option on a Mac, Alt on a PC. There you go. Now, let's turn this up to, let's go 50% flow. Okay, let's make sure it's on white to paint. And now I'm going to put it in darken mode. There we go. Now, everything that is brighter will not mask in, as you can see right here. Look, I can go completely over the window frame. And remember, this is going to be, look what happens here. It's a little darker here. And I've got a shadow from the flash over here hitting this beam right here and going there. So I'm just going to erase that. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now what I want to do is I'm going to just mask in darken mode right here. There we go. I'm just going to mask in down here, and there we go. Beauty. I'm going to go over here. It's actually making a better, sometimes it really helps the things in front of the windows. There we go. And I'm not going to worry too much about the shine right here or right here. I think it did fine, and that's why I have right here for this area right here. And there I go. I'm got my window pull quick and easy. You can see how fast it was. Really nice. And let's just take it out. Let's look at this. That's the flash shot, and here's the window pull shot. So you can see it's easy and it's fast. And now I'm going to do the no light shot, make a new layer mask, just the same as the others. And I can just go in, and if I want, I can just paint in a little more here. There you go. Get rid of that. But don't go over the sides, because if I go over here, it's going to paint over here because it's not darken mode. So you want to go right here, and there we go. So you can spend as little or as much time as you want on this and get the shot, the final image that you want. So I hope that clarified things for you, and you get to really better understand what a window pull in darken mode is. And it's not difficult. It's not hard. It doesn't take a lot of time. But once you get the technique, it's magic. It is so cool, and I love it. It's absolutely been my favorite technique of almost anything in photography I've ever learned, and it truly comes under the topic of tips and tricks for real estate photography. So I'm glad you checked it out. Again, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Use the Adorama link. Check out Shooting Spaces. If you want some coaching, send me an email to rich@richbaum.com. And my workshops, I've got a great workshop coming up in May 13th and 14th in Auburn, California. 2-day workshop, hands-on. Check it out. Come spend 2 days with me, and I'll teach you everything you need to know for real estate photography. So Rich with Richbound Photography saying, shoot better, shoot faster, get better clients, make more money. Then you can go buy new equipment and spend more time with your family, and your life's going to be great. So leave comments. I always answer those. And just have a great day. And go out and check out window pulls in Darken Mode. You can even do them in your own house. It's just the technique the concept you gotta understand. So I'll talk to you later. See you on the next tutorial.